Right now I'm going to show you guys how to tell if a squirrel has been around. When you're looking for squirrels, it's not like looking for a deer. You're not really going to be looking too much for droppings and tracks because they're going to be very small. You know, if you happen to stumble upon them, that's great, but I'm going to show you a lot more reliable method for it. Okay, find a tree, preferably oak, walnut, um, hickory. There's lots of other trees out there that they like to be in. Any tree with a nut, in general, they will eat. Um, those trees that I just listed, really, you won't find in a lot of places, like the jungle, and you won't find them in the Arctic or the subarctic, which is like boreal forest. And in that case, you'd want to look for pine trees and spruce trees with cones underneath them that have just been annihilated by squirrels. You would tell that it is a squirrel. Also, you can look for chewed bark up in trees. If it's on the ground, it's most likely a rabbit. If it's in the middle of a trunk, it is most likely a deer. Okay, so, and then once you found your tree, look down and you will see nuts. You will see the tops of nuts, the bottoms of nuts, the sides of nuts, all the types of nuts on the ground. Okay? And if I look here, I don't see any tracks. I'm by no means an expert tracker, but I don't see any. Okay? But what do I see? I do see that, and that is the inside of an acorn that has been chewed up by a squirrel. And if I look over here, these are fragments that have fallen from a squirrel's mouth. It kind of looks like corn. It's not. And also, the shells have been chewed up pretty bad. And, I mean, just look at all these tops, too, you know. So just kind of look for those sorts of things. Just because there's tops doesn't mean there's, and just nuts and stuff, doesn't mean that there's squirrels there. If they're cracked open, it doesn't mean anything. But if you actually see spaces where they've been eating it, and they're all over the place, I mean, this might happen out in nature, you know. It might get smashed by a deer walking by, you know, but a deer's not gonna, or eaten by a deer that goes by too. A deer isn't gonna climb a tree and go up in there and knock down 10,000 acorns on the ground like a squirrel will. So that is how you can tell if a squirrel has been up in a tree. And if you see this activity on lots of trees, or under lots of trees, near a source of water, about 50 to 100 yards away from the source of water, where you find all these shells and stuff, it's going to be an amazing place to set a figure 4 deadfall trap or a Paiute deadfall trap. Any deadfall trap or squirrel snare will work good. And squirrels are plentiful all over the world, pretty much, and they're very nutritious. They're tough to eat. The older ones are. So a lot of people don't really know that. Squirrels actually do taste good. Boil them, boil up all the organs, or the ones that you can eat, and the hides on some of those squirrels can get pretty big. But for the most part, a squirrel a day, maybe 2 or 3 squirrels a day, would be fantastic survival. So go out there, look for squirrels, listen for squirrels. Squirrels just sound like squeak things up in trees that are not quite birds. So see you guys next time. Bye.